No, no, it's not. No, I can be a lot of things. I can be a lot. Welcome back, Steelies and Steelers, to another The Purple Print edition. And in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 masculine traits or behaviors you don't realize you're doing. There's always been a lot of talk about the previous generations and what they've done and what they've left behind for the younger people. One of the reasons that this channel means so much to me is that this is an opportunity for me to pay it forward and not sit back and say, well, they didn't give me nothing, so I'm not going to give people that are coming up behind me something. Self-awareness is an area that I definitely feel like we're lacking in this day and age. There's a lot of, I know what the next person's doing. Amen. But there's not an awareness of what are you doing, right? Self-awareness has been so important for me in the level up, hypergamy, divest journey, whatever you want to call it, however you may experience it for yourself. Healing and confidence are 2 of the major topics that I talk about on this channel, and I will always talk about those topics because I feel like those are ultimately 2 of the major things that you need to focus on if you're looking to elevate, level up, and get to where you want to be in life. In comes self-realization, right? And self-awareness and understanding some of the things that you may be doing. I've had to sit back and think about a lot of ways in which I'm sure I came off more aggressive and or intimidating than I wanted to in certain situations. You know, when you're young and beautiful and Black, they're gonna always tell you that you're intimidating. You know, it is what it is. Don't focus on how other people see you. Instead, focus on what you know is true and you know yourself. I personally think that there's way too much emphasis on femininity, especially when we're talking about a population of people who are in dire need of reparations and are having to experience a devastating blow with the racial wealth gap and have to deal with a lot of systemic barricades, right? I don't think that we should be putting that type of unnecessary pressure and emphasis. A lot of times when it's brought up, it's a distraction to project and place the blame and point the finger, right? Again, I don't have a problem with masculinity being a part of who you are. I think that's great. If you're masculine, I think that's great. If you're feminine, I think that's great. If you're somewhere in between, like most people are, I think that's great, right? One of the reasons that I do understand the emphasis is because a lot of women feel that they weren't educated and they weren't made aware of how to compete as women on the global stage, right? I think that if you're looking at how we're raised within groups, every group of women is raised to cater to their men. And I think that typically happens in every group. But definitely, Black women haven't really been taught how to interact and engage on a global scale. And so oftentimes there's a resistance to that because there's a lack of understanding of how to maneuver in those worlds, right? So I think a lot of women feel that they are in touch with masculinity and they've had to be because of the pressure to always be the rock and to always be the support that's put on Black women. I think that a lot of Black women particularly feel like they've had to be masculine, and so that's why they're interested in more ways of practicing femininity. And I think that's great. And if you realize what you're doing, then you can become aware and change, right? So that's what it's all about here, self-awareness. So the number one thing that I feel a lot of women are doing that is not helping them to be more feminine when they want to be more feminine, right? Is that they don't wear heels enough. I think that even if you start off with just, little kitten heel, hey, you ain't hurt nobody. You don't have to take pictures of it, baby. Walk around in your house, really get a feel for like walking around in heels. Me, I learned how to walk in heels because, I've done theater since I was a young girl. So I've had to wear heels when you're dancing, when you're on stage, and things like that. And that helped me to be able to walk in heels in real life. So if you don't get that type of practice, you have to create it for yourself. If you don't have any heels, buy a pair of heels just to help you walk around and practice at home. There's no reason why you shouldn't at the very least be able to, in your room, practice walking around in heels. Let's say you're in college. You can still practice walking around in heels in your room. You're every right to, you're entitled to. If your roommate's looking and making faces, oh well, boop. She don't know why you do what you do. You know what I'm saying? So let her mind her business. I think it's important to, if you want to be good at something, you got to practice at it, right? So just practice walking around in heels in your bedroom, in your house. Make sure there's nothing in your way so you don't trip and fall, bust your head open. I know the slides. I know y'all loving the slides. I bought a pair myself. I bought a few pair. I'll be honest. I bought a few pair of those slides because they're super cute. They're super comfy. And Young Miami looks really great in them, right? So I feel you, you know what I'm saying? But like, we don't all live in Miami and we're not all Young Miami. You don't want to get carried away wearing those slides all the time. Like I've said before, I'm sorry, but if you live in an area where things aren't safe for you to project femininity, then protect yourself at all costs. Worry about getting out of that area and then you can work on your femininity. If you're in an area where you feel safe, it's safe to walk around, and you feel like you can be yourself, you can wear feminine clothing and you won't be street harassed and accosted. You definitely don't want to be wearing slides and slippers all the time, right? One, it's not good for your posture. Two, what if you bump into what if? You're never going to have a what if moment if you're like wearing slippers, because a high quality guy might not necessarily is probably not going to be attracted to a woman that's wearing those slides, which are like slipper shoes, right? They look like slippers, but they're meant to wear outdoors. Be careful with those, okay? They're cute to wear if you're with your girls and you don't want to interact with guys at all. But if you want to interact with guys and you want them to be drawn to you, then you've got to put in a little work on your end as well. Start off small. Wear 3-4 inches, right? Wear platforms. Wear wedges, right? There's a lot of things you can do to practice walking in an elevated way, because walking in heels is definitely not easy. It definitely requires a certain level of fitness, just to be honest, a certain level of leg strength. And definitely the smaller the heel, the more leg strength and you need to make that happen. So keep that in mind. Get yourself a pair of heels. If you don't have one and you're talking about being feminine, this is definitely something that you need to do. Number 2, swearing. Did I swear yet in this video? I don't think I did. Super proud of myself. I've worked really hard on swearing, you guys. Don't get me wrong. I still will curse. If you're in a live with me, I may curse here and there, and I'm not gonna like apologize profusely over and over again. I feel like we're all adults. It is what it is. But I used to curse a lot. And if you look at older videos of mine, you'll see like I used to curse excessively all the time. And my husband never once complained to me about it. He thinks that it's interesting. But because he is a high value man and he's in high value man settings and surroundings, right? That's not something that I can do, not only just for him, but even for myself and the places and settings that I'm in and want to be in. I always have to watch cursing, and I usually do. And I usually don't have a problem with that, because not everything needs to be a curse word, and maybe I can find an alternative. Maybe I'll place a jar on my desk and put a quarter in every time I curse or something, and then give it to my top subscriber at the end of the year, something like that. Especially like the older you get, it just gets less cute, just to be honest. A key swear word here and there is always delightful. But you want to be careful of swearing constantly, especially the older that you get. And you're talking about wanting to attract high quality men. It don't add up. So just keep that in mind. Number 3, which kind of goes back to number 1, which is underdressing and missing opportunities, right? Wearing heels is an opportunity to attract a man that otherwise probably wouldn't interact with you, because men like women that wear heels. When we're thinking about what we're wearing out, I see like the sweatsuits a lot, which I think is cute, but you're gonna get a certain kind of guy when you're like wearing the sweatsuits and like sneakers and slides versus if you were wearing more feminine clothing. So just keep that in mind. I don't think that you have to change who you are or anything like that. You have to be certain in your choices. And I think a lot of people want things to work out for them, but they don't want to make the choices that will help to enable that. So it's very clear. The nicer you dress, the more feminine you dress, the more work you put into your appearance, the more likely it is that you will attract a higher quality man. I got my nose pierced during this panini. I've gotten my nose pierced during this pandemic. And again, it's something that my husband is like, oh, awesome, like go for it. He's very supportive. But let's be clear, okay? Something happened and, Harry, ended up on his own, looking for a friend, okay? The nose ring will be out. Let's be clear. I'm not like, this is who I am. No, it's not. No, I can be a lot of things. I can be a lot. Don't miss an opportunity to catch the eye of the kind of guy that you want to attract. And that definitely includes putting effort into your appearance when you go out and when you're around other people. Number 4, something that I'm so happy to be able to talk about with you all. You can't say the millennials never did nothing for you, baby, because the purple print is here. Never cooking or doing DIY projects, right? And I think that this pandemic really showed me how important it was that I know how to do things for myself, because everything closed down in New York, and like every service that I had, I went to New York. I had to learn how to do my nails myself, my hair, my eyebrows, just everything, right? And it's like, oh my goodness, I was getting all of this help and now I have to do everything for myself, okay? I really got deeper into learning how to take care. I was already learning how to take care of my hair, but really just understanding that there's no going to the salon. I got deeper into learning more about my natural hair, and it's flourishing. That was fun for me to learn how to do these things and to look them up. And also, I love cooking. I think cooking is so fun and interesting. I love to juice. I love to just make new creations. I love to make my husband happy with awesome meals. We're both foodies, so we love going to different restaurants, and that was hard to deal with this past year as well, not being able to do that. So we've been cooking more and trying new things. Get more into doing things for yourself. Not only is that important for yourself, but men like that too. Guys like to do things by hand. They don't want to have to pay for everything, even if he's a high value man. I'm sure he wants a woman that's gonna cook him a home cooked meal. I don't think there's anything wrong with learning how to cook for yourself. I think that that's very important and underplayed. So definitely learn how to cook for yourself and learn how to do more things for yourself in the DIY realm. That does not include like changing a tire or something, like, ew, gross, I don't know how to change a tire, like whatever, like, that's what you call whatever for, right? And some man, whatever. What if you want a deserted road? I'm not gonna be on no deserted roads, baby, okay? So, no, that doesn't include like taking out the garbage and manly chores and things, okay? That just includes all of those girly feminine things that you want to do anyways. Learn how to do them for yourself. I love painting, and we love going to like paint and sip classes. Decorating. I love to decorate the house according to like the season. Those are fun things for me to do. I love when I like shopping for my wreath. Never cooking, that's not a good idea, right? And finally, my last point is going to be always volunteering your time and money to other women and men. I think that this is something that a lot of Black women have a hard time with. Even if you're a guy, you may have a hard time with this one, Like, are you a person that gives just way too much of your time, energy, emotions, efforts, money? Those are things that, especially if you're trying to be a feminine woman and you're doing that, it's not going to add up. Again, it's not going to add up. It don't add up. The math's not mathing. Okay, so you can't have that trait and behave that way and then simultaneously say, I'm going to be feminine, because it just doesn't work like that. A feminine woman receives. I'm so sorry. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. I'm so sorry. Truth hurts. A feminine woman receives. Okay? That doesn't mean she's not giving. That doesn't mean she's not giving, but she ain't giving all that. No, she not. No, she's not. She's too busy receiving. I'm sorry. She's too busy receiving, and doors opening for her, and, you know, seats being pulled out for her. And you see what I'm saying? She doesn't have time. The meal being paid for her. So how can I pay for the meal when you paying for the meal? No, it don't add up. No, let him pay for the meal. Let them pay for the meal, especially if you don't got it. A lot of times, you know, I'll see women, Black women particularly, like they don't really got it like that. But you're paying for everybody else. Let them pay for themselves. Especially if you're on a date. It's not even cute. Like, to a lot of guys of different cultures, American culture is different. American culture is like 50-50, 50-50, 50-50. That's like American culture. You know, you got to get a little bit more old school to get away from that, because they generally like 50-50 in American culture. And that's great. It is what it is. I believe 50-50 is in a different way. In my other videos, I talk about that. I believe we always do 50-50, baby, because you 50 and I'm 50. But we doing the same thing. Are we twins or are we 50-50? You see what I'm saying? We're doing 50-50 work, okay? I'm bringing that feminine energy 50, and you're bringing the masculine energy 50, all right? Are we twins? Are we twinsies? We both doing the same thing? We both twins? Okay. No. Don't always volunteer to help some guy friend move or do physical labor. I don't do physical labor for free. Like, I have to be careful. You know, that doesn't mean that I don't volunteer at homeless shelters and orphanages and things like that, because I have. It just means that I'm not helping random who shot Johns with things they can do themselves, okay? No unnecessary work and labor, and no paying for things that it's not your job to pay for. And that definitely includes dates. That definitely includes, even if you're just meeting up with a guy friend, you know, he should be able to pay for himself if he's not going to pay for you. So I hope this video has really helped you ladies to understand a little bit more about behaviors and traits that you may be doing that are reading masculine to the kind of man that you want to attract. And thank you for watching The Purple Print. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Patreon. I have a lot more videos where I go into further detail about these topics, and I also have a lot of vlogs where you can see how I actually maneuver in the spaces that we're talking about. Hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, shoot. Look at him. He's looking right at me. Oh, shoot. Oh, God. Oh, hell no. Oh, my God. This is not cool. Get out of here, squirrel. God damn. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Look at him. Looking right at me. Oh, hell no. I promise you I ain't getting out. Nah, I promise you I ain't getting out. Oh, hell no.